biggest problem these protesters have with the folks who work in that building right there are the numbers that are being used to base this ban on.
They use these scientific models, and the scientific models don't understand the cyclical nature of fisheries. Some years are robust, some years are not.
Huge schools of red snapper. Ran an oil rig, looks like. They're unbelievable around oil rigs, Louisiana. But there's no red snapper if you talk to the National Marine Fisheries.
Then, without warning, it all changed.
NOAA took a career that I enjoyed and put me out of business and laughed all the way to the bank.
NOAA is short for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the federal agency that oversees the $4 billion fishing industry. In 2009, it fined Lee $19,000 for catching about 20 extra codfish, nearly 3 years after he caught them. A fine, he says, that destroyed his one-man operation.
They just took it away.
Now dozens of New England fishermen charge their livelihood is at risk, sinking under the weight of 700 pages of confusing federal regulations.
Section B goes on line 1 with Section 2, and Section B goes with line 4 of Section 1. Well, that's just to tell you you can land 800 pounds.
I mean, you almost have to have a college degree to understand what's really going on in this industry.
Richard Burgess says NOAA told him he had to pay $27,000 because of a problem with his paperwork.
They just said if I try to fight it and it goes in front of one of their judges, then I most likely the fine will be between $120,000 and $140,000.
An investigation by the Commerce Department's Inspector General found the regulations were unduly complicated, federal agents overzealous and abusive, excessive fines including one for $270,000 for administrative errors.
You know, we've been honest, hard-working people, and we've been treated as common criminals.
The Inspector General also found that $30 million the fishermen paid in fines went to a NOAA fund with no oversight, used by regulators to buy more cars than there were agents, to pay for trips to fishing conferences in exotic locales such as Australia, Malaysia, and Norway, and to purchase this $300,000 luxury vessel used by government employees for fishing trips. And according to this memo obtained by CBS News, while under investigation, NOAA officials in Washington had a shredding party destroying garbage bags full of documents. The shredding truck pulled up right outside that building, NOAA's enforcement headquarters, where the agency's top cop later admitted he destroyed 75 to 80% of his total files. An investigation found the shredding violated 5 federal regulations, but no evidence of obstructing justice. The man was later removed from his job, but remains at NOAA as an analyst, still making a 6-figure salary.
We've taken aggressive.
This is what one of the alternatives are. Enjoy toxic seafood.
American consumers are often left wondering what's safe and what isn't. And when it comes to imported seafood, the answer may surprise you.
John Pruitt of WSB in Atlanta conducted an in-depth investigation and found, as that graphic would indicate, something fishy is going on. Here's his report.
What country is the shrimp from?
If you haven't noticed, almost all the seafood sold in supermarkets now comes from developing nations. Look closely. Tuna from Indonesia, orange roughy from China, tilapia from Costa Rica.
Everything's from foreign countries.
Foreign fish is cheaper and it's taking over the U.S. market. 80% of all seafood sold in the U.S. is now imported.
Now, I don't think people have any idea how much imported seafood's coming into this country.
The FDA inspects and tests less than 1% of all seafood imports. And when it does, it frequently finds filthy fish and banned chemicals. FDA records show page after page of rejected shipments. Catfish from China, veterinary drugs. Swordfish from Vietnam, poisonous. Snapper from Malaysia, filthy.
If it's from a foreign country, I'd be very cautious. I wouldn't eat it.
Ron Sparks knows what can be found in foreign fish. As Alabama's Commissioner of Agriculture, he's been to Vietnam and witnessed fish farmed in sewage. Sparks has ordered extensive testing of fish imports in Alabama, one of the few states with a seafood safety testing program. 50 to 60% of all fish imports in Alabama are rejected.
One of the things often found in this imported fish is a fungicide called malachite green. It's illegal to use in food because it causes cancer and birth defects.
Red snapper.
And that's something that the government should stop.
Lab testers say fish farmers in nations like China play a cat and mouse game with them. When the lab rejects shipments for an illegal chemical, foreign fish farmers simply switch to another harmful chemical.
They know it's illegal, they know it hurts people, but they do it anyway.
It clearly means that these importers don't think they're going to get caught.
The flood of foreign fish into the U.S. is having a devastating impact on fish farmers in the Southeast.
A catfish from this pond will sell for about $3 a pound. An import from China, $2 a pound.
Bush Wilson's been a catfish farmer for almost 20 years. He says U.S. farmers play by the rules, but can't compete with cheap importers who cut corners on safety.
The farmers in the fish industry contend that we can compete with anybody in the world if we have a fair playing field. But if you've got an unfair playing field, nobody can compete.
Researchers say the chemicals and antibiotics found may not make you sick immediately, but eaten over a long period of time, they pose a significant health risk.
When you go out to a seafood restaurant, what type of seafood do you order?
I don't. Why take the chance?
That's the problem, too. If you go to a restaurant and ask them, so where is this from? Is it farmed or fresh? They'll go, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to track when you're going out to eat.
The overpopulated red snapper. National Marine Fisheries says there's not enough for us to fish.